Hi everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project, and if you can hear this, please let us know. But I'm here with Susana Downes, who is a national finalist for Miss Earth Australia 2019. Susana, welcome to the show.
Yay! Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Look, why don't we start with where you're at?
We are in the place that, other than my house, I am in predominantly most of the time, and it's my car. Because I pretty much, like, as soon as I wake up in the car, and by the time I get home, I've just been in and out, in and out, in and out.
Whereabouts are you parked?
I'm parked currently in Fairfield Heights because I got my nails done in time for the pageant. So, classic. And then right after this, I have a casting for a commercial. So,
Oh, I was going to say as well, it's super hot in Sydney today, for those of you who don't know. So you sitting in your car, it's going to be interesting. Susana's phone has already died once because it overheated.
It got too hot.
All right, so before your phone dies again, why don't you give us an idea as to your pageant experience? How long have you been doing this? What pageants have you done, etc., etc.?
So I fell in love with pageantry when I was really little. My mum wasn't really a big pageant person per se, but we talk about it at home all the time. But the reason I started loving them was this movie called Beautiful with Minnie Driver, and it was Sally Field's first ever directorial movie.
Oh wow!
And it's all about this girl who has been in love with pageants since she was really young, competing in them herself, and getting to the point where she's competing in a national pageant for America, kind of like a equivalent to Miss America, but it was called Miss American Miss. And I know, it's so funny. The names are excellent when they try to make it so they don't get the copyright. She kind of defies the odds and breaks the odds with that pageant. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's
how old is the movie?
From 2000.
Spoiler alert.
Not a lot of
19 years later.
Movies, so
fair enough.
I don't want to but it's one of my favorites, and every time I'm in pageant mode, I always go back and I rewatch it because I love it so much. And I tried to put on a beauty pageant at my primary school, and no one was having it. I wanted everyone to represent their street, and if someone lived on the same street as them, I was like, okay, you can be the suburb, or pick a street that's close by that no one lives on that goes to the school. But no one wanted to do it, and it's whatever.
Did you actually run it?
I had the list of girls in my grade ready, written down. I asked what street they lived on if I didn't already know, and I mean, it really helped for my popularity in primary school, I'll tell you that much.
I'm sure it did.
But then I kind of took a back seat when it came to pageants up until I was 20. And I watched one of my friends compete in Miss Philippines Australia. And I was sitting in the audience and I'm like, I could answer these questions so much better than these girls. And I know how to walk. I've watched Top Model since season 1. And so I finished my degree at uni the year after. And then 2015, I was like, you know what? I have nothing to hold me back. If I have to go overseas, I can go overseas because I'm a casual worker where I work. And so I competed in Miss Philippines Australia 2015, and I was crowned Charity Queen Australia 2015.
Nice.
And so I got to go to the Philippines the year after and give the checks to the places that we raised money for. And then I took a couple of years just to kind of get myself back into my career as a performer and do more shows and do more commercials. And then I decided last year I was going to do 3 different systems in 1 year.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it was fantastic for my stress and my anxiety.
For someone living out of the car. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. And so I got up to state finals for Miss World. I was a Miss Grand Australia national finalist, and I placed second runner-up in Miss Earth last year. And here we are doing Miss Earth again.
So after all the ones that you've been in, then why go back to Earth? Obviously, there must be a reason behind that.
Well, I feel like Earth changed my life. I did a charity event for Miss Grand, but I did the same kind of event this year for Miss Earth. But my actual everyday life physically changed because of Miss Earth. Like I learned so many things about waste and pollution and climate change, and how I as an individual can change that just by reducing how much plastic I use in my everyday life, how much I use this car. Like if I'm going to the gym and I'm going close to home, I'll just walk because it's like a 30-minute walk to and from. So I felt way more connected because everything in my day-to-day had changed in conjunction with being in that pageant last year, and it's strengthened more so this year.
So what are some of because I've seen a few posts from the Earth Girls, and it's almost like they have learnt a lot of little sort of facts about our planet themselves, and they post it up, which is super interesting. What are some of the things that you've learnt about the Earth and the environment through your Miss Earth journey?
Well, I've learnt that every single minute, one garbage truck full of plastic gets dumped into the ocean. And then in 10 years, like 2030, there'll be 2 if we're going at the same rate that we're going. In 20 years after that, so 2050, it'll be 4, which will make it so that the ocean is more plastic than it is fish. And I would hope by that time, I've got children. I know it's gross. I'd hope by that time when I have children that they don't have to experience that. And it's such a sad thing to think about, that the ocean becomes just this dumping ground. It's not a place where you can go swimming, where you can see fish and different other marine wildlife and beautiful coral reefs. Like it's such a disappointing statistic to hear. And I want to make it better, not just for us, like this generation growing up now, but the future generation to come.
I think the question has to be, I think most people believe we have a problem. I think most people believe in climate change. There are always going to be people who say, But forgetting those people for a sec, let me ask you this. Why do you think, despite knowing that we have a problem, that a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people still refuse to do anything about it? As an example, when our supermarkets, Woolworths, Coles, phased out the plastic bags, and then there was such an uproar that they had to bring it back in with Woolies anyway. Why do you think that happened? Because that was really interesting to me.
I think within Australia, there's that whole she'll be right mentality where it's like, oh yeah, someone else will do it. It'll be okay. But there's also that not want of change. Like my dad doesn't have Facebook, so this is going to be okay for me to say, but he,
Are you sure?
he was one of those people. He was one of those people that was like, oh, why they got to change the bags and do all of that. But you've got to think of it as the bigger picture. It's not just you going through this plastic bag change. It's not just you having to fork out an extra 15 cents because you forgot a reusable bag, which is so simple to have. Like I have so many in here.
I mean, you get into the habit pretty quickly. You just chuck them in your car, especially if you go to buy your car. If you're walking there, you just take the bags with you. I didn't think it was that complicated, but a lot of people really were up in arms about it. I personally don't understand why it had to become such a big issue, but I can see for a lot of people that don't like change, that's always a big factor. But a lot of people think that small picture. They don't think in the bigger picture of the rest of the world. Can you give us an idea as to, just in your daily life, how maybe some of the habits that maybe you've changed through not only Earth, but just in general? Because I think it's fascinating to see how people are changing, things like having a zero carbon footprint and being completely plastic free. So what are some of the things that you've done in your own sort of day-to-day life?
So I carry around a water bottle or any drinking utensil. This is the current one I'm using at the moment. It's $3 from Kmart.
Nice color.
I use it for thank you. I use it for my Boost drinks. Like if it's an original size Boost, or it's 600 mils, so it's pretty good. Because I used to always buy plastic water bottles. I'd go down to Woolies on like a 10-minute break or a lunch break because I'd forget my water.
Yeah.
And it's 80 cents for 1.5 liters, but like in turn, I'm creating plastic waste. I make my parents put because my parents love to drink Coke. They love it. I don't I try to tell them not to drink it, but what can I do? So we have our recycling bin, which is a giant styrofoam box that they put their cans of Coke into, and then at the end of every month, I'll go to return and earn and show that even though you're still doing that, we can make a difference and create income back. What income? I don't know.
You get a little bit of income, but you're not going to become a millionaire.
No.
Get a couple of bucks if you're lucky.
Like I said before, if I'm going to the gym close to my house, I will choose to walk instead of drive my car because I use it so much for work anyway.
Yeah.
I'd rather, when I can, not use it. And obviously, reusable bags, I use those. And I switched out my shampoos from being a shampoo bottle to the shampoo bars that you get from Lush. But I've been told of a really good one that's in Penrith that is homemade and Australian owned as well, which is really cool.
Just for my own knowledge, are there any plastics that are okay to use? Because obviously some plastics are recyclable now, but is it just blanket all plastics are bad, or are some okay?
No, there are some that are okay, like this is plastic, but it's I use it for it's usable for a very long time, so it's not just a single-use plastic. Mainly, it's single-use plastics that are the offenders.
Right. Okay. So your water bottles, for example, just disposable water bottles.
Yeah, but you want to make sure, if you've got something plastic like this, that it's BPA free, because BPA is a really bad chemical that can get absorbed into food and water and other drinks, and research has gone into showing that it can cause early menopause and early puberty in children. And not only is it bad for the environment, but it's also bad for us.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pageant is not even a week away anymore, is it?
It's this Sunday.
I'm looking at the date. This is 4 days away. So how are you feeling about it?
I'm excited. It's also my birthday weekend as well, so I'm hoping it's a birthday present win, like I thought it would be last year, but it was a birthday present second runner-up prize. But that's still good too. I came home with a crown on my head, so I was happy. But I've spent the last 2 years aging myself up a year because I've had to practice saying I'm the year older than what I am.
Right.
Because my birthday's on Friday. So,
okay.
Yeah, so
that's going to be really confusing.
Hey, I know. I have to whenever I'm practicing my intro, I'm like, "You're 26. Not right now, but you will be 26 on the day. So you've got to say you're 26." Yeah.
Do you have any expectations or goals in terms of the placing that you'd like to get? I mean, obviously, second runner-up doesn't leave much room up. There's only 2 spaces up.
There's only 2 more spots. I mean, I'm in a mindset of manifestation and claiming things and putting it out into the universe for the win, because it's been a dream of mine since watching the first run of Beautiful for me to go and represent Australia in an international pageant. So the top title is always my end goal,
of course,
but if I can get air, that would be awesome too, but Earth all the way.
I can see the sun gradually crawling across your face. It's going to get really hot really soon.
I'm just going to be like this.
I'll just, I mean, you can turn your phone or climb in the back seat or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
Give us, I mean, you mentioned your performing background, but give us an overview as to what you do in your life away from pageantry and aside from living in your car. Which is super exciting.
Yeah, it's so much fun. So my day job is still somewhat in the entertainment industry. I worked at JB Hi-Fi for almost 7 years, And so I get to see like new releases of movies and CDs and how all of that side of things goes, which is really cool. When I'm not there, I tend to either go on auditions for musicals or TV commercials like I have this afternoon, or TV shows, or even sometimes I'm at home filming a self-tape for like a Netflix series or a TV show that I just can't get to. And then I spend at least once a month, but most of the time it's every 2 weeks at a singing lesson with my singing teacher, Rob Bertram. He is incredible, and he's been with me since my Australian Institute of Music days. So he's known my voice since I was 18 years old. And, you know, he knows the exact wording, how to like fix or like flip the switch into getting my voice in the right spot. So he's helped me out a lot in the last couple of months, which has been awesome because it's been a big audition couple of months.
Right. Do you have any particular goals with that side of your career? Because I mean that career, that industry is wildly unpredictable. You never know if you're going to get everything or get nothing. So do you have any particular goals?
I want to be on Broadway.
You really love the musicals, hey?
I do. It's my life. It's been my life since high school, and I want to be on Broadway. It's the dream, the ultimate dream.
What's your favorite musical?
Hamilton.
What's your favorite song from a musical?
Oh, that's the hardest. I mean, I love Helpless from Hamilton if I'm going to go into that. Or
just
spot.
In general.
Because in general, it's a hard one. It's kind of like, I mean, I always use the comparison of a mother picking their favorite child, but usually they do have a favorite child.
Exactly. So. It's really easy. They just don't want to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think your question is harder. So
I think so too.
Favorite song from a musical, not just favorite song from a musical, but doesn't have to be Hamilton.
From a musical. I mean, I've always loved, I mean, it's such a cliche, but I've always loved Defying Gravity from Wicked because it's such a powerhouse song to sing, but it's also something that you really do feel deep down inside. It's all about breaking the boundaries and being a game changer and being true to who you are and not caring what anyone else thinks. And it's a really great anthem for everyone, not just musical theatre people.
It also sounds particularly applicable to pageants as well, if I'm honest.
Yes, it does.
It's always this one. What does this even mean? I don't understand. Why does everyone... What is it? I don't know. I'm like analysing why I do it. I don't know. All the pageant girls do it.
I'm just glad I'm not doing the typical Asian, like create a dimple with one finger and...
I did not know that was a thing.
I have barely any makeup on today, but like still I don't want to affect my face. That's like a big pose within the Asian community to create a dimple.
Am I doing it right?
And the peace sign. Yeah. I don't know, this one just seems to be like, it's like a little bit of a mockery of toddlers and tiaras, but it's also, I don't know, it just ends up looking nice.
I think this one is this one's cute. This one is just like too. I don't know.
Just Asian.
I feel like I need them anyway. Okay, before we go to the final 10 questions, why don't you give a shout out to anyone who's supported you, any sponsors or any family members? I'm sure there are a lot of people to thank. So the stage is yours.
Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. So obviously, my parents, my mum and dad, have been the biggest supporters, not just in my pageant career, but my whole being a performer. They're stage parents, but not to the point where it's like
crazy.
Okay, you're annoying me, go away. Like they understand boundaries and they're really great with that. I also, hello, that's my finger. I also want to thank my pageant coaches, Gabe Amor Perez, Lysa Perez, who is currently competing for Miss World Philippines, Jez Perez and Hannah Perez as well. The whole Perez family have been, yes, this is a whole family that they've been with me since my Miss Earth journey last year, and they've been absolutely incredible. We have a constant Facebook like chat where I'm sending through my practice of my walks, all of the dresses that I've been picking out, my swimwear. I also want to thank Tamara Maya, who has been my personal trainer since 2015 or a personal friend of mine as well, because we went to high school together. So she has created what you are looking at right now.
I think you deserve a little bit of the credit.
I mean, I put in the hard work,
Exactly.
but without her, I wouldn't know what to do. And I'm a typical Virgo who likes to follow directions and instructions. So I love just having her be there by my side to be able to tell me, okay, this is what you're doing this week. This is what you're eating this week. This is how many steps you've got to do when you're not doing this thing of cardio. She's helped me so much. Charis from Style Swim, she's my swimwear sponsor. I love her and her family. I've been to their house before, and I was just there to pick up a swimsuit, and I ended up having a play date with one of her daughters.
Of course.
So I'm part of the family, which I love that. That's what you want to have within a sponsor. I also want to thank Get Threaded for creating this lovely shape of my brows. My hairstylist and friend Jess from Royals Hair, who's currently on a plane to the US because she's going on holiday, well deserved.
Nice.
And my partner Isaac for being the most supportive partner in the world, because he's also a performer, so he totally gets this.
He would understand.
Yeah. There was one question during Miss Grand. Well, it was the first question I got asked. Liz Clancy asked me if I had a boyfriend, and I was just so excited to say yes. I said yes. Because I grew up in a Filipino household where I wasn't allowed to date until after I finished high school.
Right.
And then I didn't end up dating until I was 22. And so the first time anyone had ever asked me, do you have a boyfriend? I was like, oh, yes, I do.
That feels like it's the first thing you want to say is, my name is Susana Downes. I have a boyfriend.
I know. But, because we auditioned for what are they called? Cruise line contracts or contracts that take us away to theme parks, or just auditions for musicals that travel around not only Australia but the world.
Yeah.
The world, sorry. I just choked, it's fine. He gets the idea that if I were to win not only a national pageant but an international pageant, I'd be away for a year, because I've had to go through the same thing with him auditioning for cruise lines, because if he gets that, he's away for 9 months. So, but he's incredibly supportive. Whenever I look at his food and go, oh, I want to eat that, he's like, no, you have a goal, you're going to win, so you after, it's okay, you can do this. It's good to have him there.
That's always something to look forward to after pageant, watching all the pageant girls going to McDonald's and just gorging.
My Insta story last year, I'm in my car in the drive-thru, I've got my crown still on, my sash is on. I'm just like, hi, can I get 20 nuggets, a McFlurry, a frozen raspberry? And my mum decided to film this, and I go, Mum, what do you want?
I feel like you should just go to the drive-thru and go, I'll get one of everything, please.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping this year I get a birthday cake, because we forgot last year. So hopefully. That's one of the things I want this
Who's
year.
we? You forgot your own birthday.
Well, no, I didn't forget my birthday. I had things planned with my partner and my friends, but my mum forgot to make a birthday cake. And because she's a baker, so that's what she does for a living. So yeah, so she
that
forgot
is
to bake
a
me my
terrible
birthday cake.
occupation for a pageant mum to have. That's got to be one of the worst, up there with chocolatier or something like that.
It's actually okay, because I'm the one I help her bake now, so I'm getting all my hands, and I'm just it's not for me. It's okay. I don't want to eat it. It's fine.
God, I don't know how you could do that when you're not supposed to be eating cake and you're actually making one for someone else.
A lot of self-control.
I can imagine.
I'm quite proud of myself.
Okay, well, those are the thank yous. Now let's go into the final 10 questions. You ready?
Final 10. Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can remember them. Number 1, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word is sporadically.
For any particular reason, or you just like the way it sounds?
It's a bit of both. I love the way it sounds, but also I just love the idea of like doing things on a whim, because I'm very, like I said, Virgo. I like instructions, I like rules, I like things. So when things happen out of nowhere, they can be a little bit anxiety ridden, but in the end, they're so much fun. And so getting to do things sporadically is a lot of fun. I also love huzzah. That's another one of my favorite words.
Huzzah. Okay. What is your least favorite word?
Stop. Mainly because not like on the road, I respect that, but when it's like when I'm trying to do something, and I think I get this from my mum as well, because whenever we're like talking and someone tells us to stop, we both have that adverse reaction to like, don't tell me to stop, I'm going to keep talking, that kind of a thing.
Oh, okay. All right. It's similar to a lot of people say their least favorite word is no. I think it's on a similar vein.
Oh, as someone that works in retail, I much appreciate the word no.
Okay. Fair enough. Question 3. What turns you on?
Passion. So having a passion for what they do for a living, what they do, like what they volunteer for, just having passion for something has always been something that I'm really attracted to. And like with my partner now, he's so goal driven for what he loves and what he does. Like he absolutely loves, he's gone into acting like full force, and I'm so proud of him. And just seeing him talk about picking out different acting in like different movies and stuff that we see, I'm just like, wow.
I can see why he's your partner.
Yeah.
All right. Question 4. What turns you off?
Racism. Yep. Racism. Particularly when there's an example I've had at work when someone came up to me and just yelled out, "Ni hao." I just went, "No, that ain't it."
Yeah,
just automatically thinking that you're Asian, so you must be Chinese. I'm like, well, no, I'm 5'9".
Oh, you're like, still Asian. No.
I know, but like also like
I'm 6'1". I'm still Asian.
That's true, but they just automatically think that speak to you in an Asian language and it's going to be the one that's yours. I'm like, well, no.
Yeah.
No. I only speak like 50% of Tagalog anyway, so it's like.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. I've had the same sort of problem at a Chinese airport. Someone started screaming at me in Mandarin. I'm like, I don't speak Mandarin, so try again.
Nope.
Anyway, question 5. What sound or noise do you love?
I really love, this is a retail specific, the sound where we've turned off the phones for the night and someone's tried to call after hours and the phone just goes, bup, bup. Like, no. Don't, no, we're closed. The doors are closed, so we're not taking calls anymore. But I also really love the sound of rain on like a tin roof, especially when I'm warm and cozy inside and I don't have to worry about getting like,
warm and cozy inside your car.
Well, right now I am, but no, rain on my car when I'm in it is terrifying. I get so anxious about that.
Well, I don't think you'll have to be worrying about that today.
Not anytime soon, no.
Okay, so question 6. What sound or noise do you hate?
Scraping of cutlery on like
on
ceramic
China.
plate. Yeah, I always just, and I also, I mean, I have a fear of balloons, so anytime someone squeaks a balloon.
You're the third person. I know 3 people who are phobic of balloons. It's hilarious. Wow. I just think if I turn up as a clown with balloons, you'd be terrified.
I mean, I just have like this, like I'd be like this, and if it popped, I would literally hide under a table.
Yeah.
So it's a mix between the cutlery and just a balloon, someone holding one and touching it. And,
this must be a thing. You're the third person probably in the last 2 months who said they have a phobia of balloons. So I've got to look into this more.
I know like one other person, but I've always been like laughed at for it. And I'm just like, you don't have cousins popping it in your face on your 8th birthday.
Yes, the childhood trauma that started the phobia.
PTSD.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good to know where the magic begun. Question 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
teleportation, so I can just be wherever I need to be or wherever I want to be in like a split second.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
Question 8. What job or occupation other than your own would you most like to attempt? You've thought about this one.
I've been thinking about the other one.
Well, you got to think about this one first.
I forgot to think about
You don't get to answer the next one unless you can answer this one.
I mean, I would love to be like a traditional artist, just painting or drawing for a living. Like, I can paint and I can draw, but it's not my occupation, and I don't do it as on the regular. But like a couple of Christmases ago, I drew photos of my friends, and I was actually like really impressed with myself because they looked pretty photorealistic.
Oh wow! Okay, not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah, I guess just being creative is always something that I could never not do. So any other creative thing, whether being an artist or even direction, whether it's in a musical or in something on screen, because you get to create that bigger picture.
Okay. Well, the question that you did want to answer, if what job or occupation other than your own would you definitely... Oh my God, what's that guy carrying in the background? I don't know, the guy in the background was carrying, it looked like a huge pizza. Yeah, I got distracted.
I saw that. Like...
What job or occupation other than your own would you definitely not like to attempt?
A security guard.
Because? Oh, don't tell me it's because you get scared easily.
No. It's more just like you have to put yourself on the line every single day at work. Like, you could come across someone with a weapon. Yeah. You could come across someone that like could literally beat you to a pulp with just their fist. And I guess I'm just more scared of my everyday living when it comes to those kinds of things. And I watch our security guard at work, and he is so good at his job. And I'm just like, I could never do what you do, because you don't care what people think when you're looking at them and they think, why is this guy staring at me? And it's like, no, he's doing his job. But I always get scared of, like, what if someone's brought in a weapon? Yeah. What if someone has like a bomb or something like that? That kind of stuff freaks me out. So I wouldn't want to be a security guard.
I certainly would not want to be one in America, that's for sure, where everyone can carry, every lunatic and a gun can carry a gun. It's just insane. It's really scary.
Terrifies me.
I think there was a massacre a mass shooting in Texas, and then they just made their laws easier to get a gun. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I do not understand. Anyway, that's a sad state of affairs. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I would want to hear him say, thank you for not only caring about my family and myself, but caring about everyone else in the world, caring about people to be able to use the talents that he's given me to be able to do better, like me doing charity concerts. So using the talent that he's given me, being able to sing and being able to speak, has been done for him in the right way. I'd want him to say thank you.
Perfect.
But I'd say thank you back. Like, you gave me the best life.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep you on for a little longer, but I am going to say thank you to you for your time. And I'm going to say thank you to those of you watching, whether it's on live or on the replay afterwards. And we will speak to you next time. Hey, it's Adrian. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to keep up to date with our interviews, then make sure to subscribe by clicking here. If you'd like to watch some of our interviews right now, then click here. And also make sure to follow us on all our socials right here. Speak to you next time.